G'day humans, Stead here. Today I'm reviewing the Koala Plus Mattress. Now this is the new mid-tier range in Koala's range of mattresses. So it's kind of a replacement for the old Karmaz. Now Koala are calling this their most advanced mattress yet. And look, if you've seen my channel, you may have noticed that I've already done a review of the Karmaz when that came out a few years ago. And I quite like that mattress. But this definitely has a very, very different feel to it. So let's dive in. Take a look at my Koala Plus mattress review. And look, we'll start with price. So like I said, this is one of their this is the kind of in the mid-tier option. They've got 4 mattresses at the moment which are out. So you've got the Koala SC, which is the base mattress. You're gonna get that for around the $950 mark, $960 mark. Then they've got just the Koala mattress. That's gonna be about $1190, I think. Then when you step it up to this is a queen prices, by the way. When you step it up to the Plus, it actually jumps right up to $1690, so quite a big jump up from those two kind of lower tier models to this mid-tier model. And then you've got the Luxe on top of that as well, which is the one that has everything in it, and that one's about $2,250. So that's kind of the price difference you're looking as you step up through the models, and that's going to kind of be reflective of the technology that you're going to find inside. Now in terms of that pricing, it's pretty good. It's not too bad. It's kind of it's actually quite competitive compared to what else is on the market. So not too bad there. And you're going to get a 10-year warranty with that, which is, it's pretty long. It's on the lower side for some of the mattresses in the boxes, but 10 years is still pretty solid. And you get the 120-day night trial for that as well. Now, we have actually tested that. I did test getting a mattress in, trialing it, and then sending it back just to see what that process was like. And it worked out pretty smooth. It's a bit of a hassle, like packaging it up to be picked up by the courier. Especially the bigger mattresses, it's kind of challenging to do. But when it actually came, they picked it up, they took it back, they returned the money with us, no fuss. So I think it's important to know that that's a legit offer, that trial, so you can absolutely try it out. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the delivery process. And so we got this mattress delivered to us, I think it was more or less overnight. It was pretty quick. And it came the next day. Now, with these Koala mattresses, and this was the same with the old Karmaz and Soulmates, but with these 2 higher level ones in the Koala range, but specifically with the Plus we're talking about today, it comes in 2 boxes, which is unusual for the mattresses in a box range. And the reason is because they split it up into the main base model, which is down here, your main base, and then this detachable layer at the top, which I'll show you in a second. Now, there's some benefits and some positives and some not so positives about the delivery process. Obviously, it came quickly, that's good. It comes in the 2 boxes, which means you're not trying to lift the entire thing at once. You've kind of got that, 2 lighter boxes. But the negative is that the boxes didn't come with any handles or any wheels, which we do see in some of the competitors, to help getting it around your house if you need to. And it also needs to be assembled by you. So you need to zip this together. And that process in previous Koala models was a bit tricky. It's a lot better with this model for sure. So that's something I'll go into in a sec. But you've also got more wastage because you've got double the amount of boxes and double the amount of plastic. So that's just something to think about the delivery process, is that there's definitely positives, but there are some negatives to the way that the Koala box is delivered. And when I look at it overall with the rest of them that I've reviewed, and if you look at the channel, I've reviewed quite a few mattresses, this is probably on the lower end of the delivery experience, just because you don't have those wheels and that maneuverability, and you got to deal with those 2 boxes. And it actually specifically says open this first and open this second, possibly because you just put this on the frame and then you put that on top. I don't think it's going to break it if you do it the other way around. Here's a bit of an instruction booklet that suggests going to first. Just breaks down the steps on how to open it and connect it. Allows 72 hours, as I was talking about. Rotate regularly, as I say, every 2 weeks, which is really aggressive. And it's got a zipper warning this time, which it didn't have last time. Pay attention to the zipper warning. All right. So there we go, getting the first bit out. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy to definitely improve that process from the last time. The plastic actually tears a lot easier in specific spots. I used the sounding knife to cut that open. I didn't even need to. It was actually designed to tear pretty well. What you probably noticed is that it hasn't just gone boing, which a lot of the other mattresses in the box do. They come to shape really quickly, whereas this one's got a slower start to life. So that's why they ask you to wait 72 hours, I'm guessing. I also got this new green fabric on the outside, which definitely wasn't around last time. I wonder if that's eucalyptus, koala inspired. Speaking of which, you still got your little cuddly koala, which is a nice bonus. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so there we go. That's it out. So like I said, I'm going to let these sit before I try and zip them up. I found that worked better last time. And this will give you an idea of the amount of wastage you're going to have to deal with. So no styrofoam or anything like that, which some of the other mattresses in a box do come with, like bits of like structural cardboard and styrofoam and stuff inside, which is horrible. So big props that they don't have that. Okay, so let's talk about the construction of the actual mattress itself. Now, Koala's taken an interesting approach with the new Plus range. I presume it's possibly the same with the other mattresses as well, in that it's not pitching the amount of layers it has. This has been something that most of the mattress brands will like go through the various layers. They don't document what those are, on the website or any of the information you can get. But I can still talk you through the construction because it's pretty smart and it's pretty customizable. So one of the things that I thought about the last Koala mattresses that didn't really deal that well with was temperature. And I definitely found the temperature being an issue with the Soulmate, which we were sleeping on for quite a while, and also the car mats. And they've done a lot of stuff to kind of work on that with this particular new mattress, the Koala Plus. Now, first things first, this is a memory foam mattress. So we're seeing a lot more hybrids in the marketplace, and the hybrids will have two or all of memory foam, latex, and springs. So this doesn't have the latex, doesn't have the springs, it's all memory foam. And that's something important to note, and I'll go into that in a little bit when I talk about how it feels. So on top here, you've got what they call it cold front, I want to say. I haven't got that right. But it's basically a moisture wicker fiber top that basically acts a lot with your cooling. And if you see over here, it's currently set to summer. Over here. So there's a winter option as well. So this can be, and I'll unzip it here, the top can be flipped over to get you a different surface on the top. All right? Okay, and basically this winter side has cotton in it, about 30% cotton. So it pulls back on the polyester and it puts in with the cotton, and that kind of gives you a bit more, it changes the way that the temperature behaves. So it's pretty cool that you can do that. I like that customizability. And so that's kind of the top surface. It's got a really nice feel to it. I quite like the pattern on it as well. It's not too confronting. Although if you notice here, if you come to zoom in over here, you'll notice that when I move it can bunch. See that? I have noticed that a bit. And I got a bunch of other different mattresses in the house, and I went and did this on the other mattresses, and most of them actually kind of did it, to be fair. But see how it just kind of crinkles a bit? I did notice a bit of that when I was sleeping on it. There was just a little bit, like I couldn't tell whether the sheets were bumped up, a little bit uncomfortable, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that's unique to this Koala or it was anything to do with my sheets and stuff, but something I definitely picked up on. And in here you've got the Kloudcell layer. So this is kind of the technology that's been around for a while with the company. It's a memory foam. It's dense, but it's filled with lots and lots of little like Kloudcell pockets, like little air pockets that basically give it a really floaty feeling, and it also helps like basically pull or deal with temperature. So there's air and it's breathable, and as the heat goes in or out, it can then move through the mattress and get out. It doesn't just kind of soak in like those old school cheap memory foam mattresses that you might remember in the past. So that's how that works. It's also quite thick. I believe this is 8 centimeters. I think the more expensive one, the model up from this is 9 centimeters, and the one below it might be 7. I might have that wrong, but this is 8. Okay, so pretty thick. and pretty comfortable. And that just goes in there. Now that's also flippable, so that can be done in firm or medium firm. Now, I found this to be quite a soft mattress, and we'll talk about this a little bit when I talk about how the sleeping experience was, but I wouldn't call it necessarily firm and medium firm. I'd be more tempted to call it medium and medium firm, even like medium soft medium. But it's an interesting feeling because it feels very soft and plush, and it's described as plush on the website, I noticed, but I haven't had the back complaints that I would normally have if I was sleeping on a really soft mattress. So there is support there, but it feels quite soft. I don't feel like I'm on a firm mattress. So I think anyone who's kind of used to something reasonably firm would want to just stick with firm straight away. The medium firm difference, like when you switch this round, look, it's noticeable, but it's not significantly noticeable. And I think this is actually a good time as well to talk to the zipper, because if you saw my video of the last Koala mattress that I did, the zipper was a real problem area. It was really challenging to zip up. And this time around, it's a lot easier. I couldn't, even just doing what I just did then, going around that corner, like you couldn't do that on the last one. So they've really improved the zipper design. And I think as well, I'm a bit more of a veteran with it, so that's definitely helped as well. But just being able to do that makes a big difference, because the zipper was such a hassle on the last mattress that the idea of actually taking off and flipping things around was just such a headache you didn't do it. The fact that the zipper on this is a lot more usable, as you just saw, that I could just guide it up with one hand like that, means that the flipping feature becomes more usable. And it's worth pointing out, I think, that you still should just take it a little bit easy. Like, don't just zip it like you zip your jumper, because you might have problems. So anyway, we've taken a couple of layers here. The topper layer that can be spun round. Then we've got that Kloudcell layer. You then got your core layer below that, which is the dense, high density memory foam that goes through the whole entire mattress. And under that, you've then got a non-slick base and just comes up the sides. And it's definitely worth pointing out that the side support, I know that probably doesn't look that good, but the side support on this particular mattress is a lot better than it was before. They've definitely improved that edge support, and edge support on the mattresses and the boxes is always a bit of an issue, but I'm pretty happy with this. I'm a big bloke, and getting up and off this, I don't get that massive sag on the side. So that's a bit of a thumbs up, and that's a good idea of the construction. Also, you might have noticed it's on a king size frame at the moment. That's just because I've got it in here for testing. Now, I just wanted to leave it on one side. It does say like spin it around every couple of weeks, but I didn't. And I've left it in one position for 6 weeks now, and we've slept on it every night. And like I said, I'm over 100 kilograms, and that should show you that it hasn't really deformed much at all, if at all. Like, I can't pick up on any sort of body weight impact, so that's also a good sign. All right, so let's talk about the actual sleeping experience on this. And before I call this cold front, it's CoolThread. That's the name of the technology. I apologize, I just did a video on a laptop cooling system called Cold Front, and it just spun me around, but it's called CoolThread. That's the name that Koala's calling technology. So the actual sleeping experience is really interesting. I find this mattress to be very comfortable. It's a really, really comfortable mattress to lie on. And I've actually really enjoyed or welcomed the idea of coming up to bed, because I know how comfortable it's going to be as soon as I lie down in the bed. But it's got a very memory foam feel to it. And I'm just trying to work out how best to describe that to you, but there's not very much bounce back. And when I said it was not very firm, it's because it's so soft, and you kind of move into it, it kind of envelops you. It's got 5 support zones through it in that kind of, that middle high density foam layer. And I do feel really well supported. I haven't woken up with any aches and pains in my back or my neck, which is something that I definitely am prone to. And yet I feel like it's really quite soft, and it's not really kind of resisting me and pushing back up. So I think if you're a light sleeper, sorry, not a light sleeper, if you're a real tosser and turner, then this particular mattress might not work too well for you, because there isn't any of that bounce and that pushback that you might get something that has springs in it. When you got to kind of roll over, you kind of got to really move your body. And there isn't much partner disturbance in general, but because you've got to put so much effort in to get round because it's not, because you're kind of sunken in, if that makes sense. You end up having to use more energy, which then creates more movement. So I don't think the partner disturbance is bad, but it's definitely more noticeable. So that's definitely something I think that you should take into account, because if you're someone who moves a lot, this might not create a pushback that you need. If you're someone, however, that has a lot of like pressure points in your body, or isn't particularly heavy, then I don't think that's going to be nearly as much of a concern. And when it comes to like comparing mattresses and talking about what's right, often it's very subjective to that individual's needs. And this is such a different feel to the way that the Calm-As was, and such a different feel to the way that a lot of the mattresses are that I've tested recently, because a lot of them are hybrids. It very much goes into a certain type of use case. So if you're in that kind of sphere, then I think you're going to have a really comfortable night's sleep with this mattress, because it's well made, it's comfortable, and it's customizable. But if you fall out of that, if you're looking for something with a bit more firmness, a bit more resistance, a bit more bounce back and push back, that's going to resist your movements a little bit more, then this potentially isn't for you. And I look forward to trying the next model up to see if there's any differences there. But on the temperature side of things, it's definitely improved. And like I said, they've worked on a couple of the design issues that I had with the previous mattress, which I also appreciate, and they're definitely better as well. So ultimately, I do like the Koala Plus. I do think it's a good mattress. I don't think it's probably the right mattress for me long term, because like I said, I toss and I turn a lot, and it's a lot of energy to do that in this particular mattress, even though I've actually found it a really, really comfortable sleep. However, my son, who's a lot lighter than me and sleeps like a log, I think he's going to love this thing. So, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to get the right mattress for you. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Koala Plus mattress. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out my other videos, in particular my other mattress reviews, to see what I think about the vast array of mattresses that are now available in Australia and across the world. And yeah, until next time, I'll check you later. You.